Red Dead Redemption for the Nintendo Switch has seen some pretty negative feedback from the RDR community, but here are 4 good things on the Switch over the original. Before we go there, let's talk financials. You can pick this up for £40 from almost anywhere. Next, we need to pull this out of its wrapping, and all we have inside is the game cartridge. Whilst the game does lack multiplayer support, 60 FPS and new features, it's not all that bad. Here are 4 ways Red Dead Redemption on the Nintendo Switch is better than the original game launched over a decade ago. It might seem obvious that a re-release of a game that was originally launched over a decade ago would have better graphics and higher resolution, but it's still worth mentioning. The new RDR has far superior graphics over the PS3 and Xbox 360 versions of the game. On the PlayStation 3, the game maxed out at 640p resolution, while on the Xbox 360 the game was limited to 720p. The re-release of RDR upgraded this to 1080p with a 1920 by 1080 native resolution. However, it is important to note that RDR on Switch is locked at 30 FPS and most of the shaders have been left in their original form, so the look of the game is almost identical to the 2010 release. RDR on the Nintendo Switch also comes with its own improved accessibility settings in terms of text size for subtitles, objectives and help text in the game. While it would seem like a pretty minimal update, it comes in especially handy on the Nintendo Switch. In addition to having smaller text due to the size of the Switch screen, being able to adjust subtitle size is even more important for those not using headphones when playing on their Switch in public. While the game did not receive any new HUD or enhancements to existing in-game mechanics, adding text size sliders makes playing on a handheld device more viable. While much can be said about the price point for the new RDR, there is one side effect of this that isn't often talked about. The fact that the new RDR release is, in many ways, the same experience people had when the original game was released on the PS3 over a decade ago. With the introduction of common gaming tropes, especially in the open world genre, it is like going back in a time machine to a past era. And this is saying a lot, considering that the game is still a solid experience so many years after it was originally released. This prevents it from being a different experience altogether, which enables a whole new generation of people to enjoy the game in its original state for the first time ever. Perhaps the biggest redeeming quality for Rockstar's port of RDR is the fact that it enables people to finally play the title on a portable device. The lack of a PC port made it previously impossible to play on alternative devices such as the Steam Deck or ROG Ally, but the RDR port on the Nintendo Switch now makes it possible for players to take the game on the go. In addition to this, it boasts beautiful 720p graphics at a 1280 by 730 resolution at 30 frames per second, bringing the title to perfect graphical fidelity for handheld gaming devices. This is not only a first-time experience but a pretty solid one, especially considering the platform. While certain things like Fidelity FX Super Resolution might be limited on the device, the fast approximate anti-aliasing alternative on the Nintendo console does a great job at rounding out the sharper edges and bringing the visual quality of the game up to a reasonable degree. Ultimately, while there's not much of an improvement over the Red Dead Redemption for the Nintendo Switch over the original title that hit shelves in 2010, there are some major graphical improvements. The addition of handheld support on the Nintendo Switch is the biggest noticeable difference we can see over the new gen consoles. Would you consider buying this for the Switch? Let us know in the comments below. This is the Unboxing Beard and we just unboxed Red Dead Redemption for the Nintendo Switch.